Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we are talking about something that is, well, pretty much everywhere you look online. Coconut oil for our pets. You've definitely seen the TikToks, you've probably read the blog posts, and it's often sold as this incredible cure-all. But is it really the magic bullet everyone claims it is?
And that's the big question, isn't it? Is this a genuine miracle cure, or is it just another bit of wellness hype? We're going to break down what the science actually says, what vets are seeing with their own eyes, and what you as a pet owner really need to know before you even think about opening a jar.
I mean, the hype is absolutely massive. Just a quick Google search, and you are hit with this huge wave of claims. We're talking everything from shinier coats and helping with allergies, to fixing tummy troubles, boosting brain health in older pets, even claims about weight management and fighting inflammation. It's basically pitched as the answer to everything.
And it is so easy to get swept up in all that excitement, right? So what we're going to do now is cut through the noise. Let's separate the hype from the hard evidence and see what the science really has to say about it.
Okay, so the best place to start is where the claims actually have some scientific support, and that really comes down to two main areas, the skin and the gut. This is where research is starting to show some real, tangible effects.
So what's the supposed secret sauce in coconut oil? Well, it all comes down to these things called medium-chain fatty acids, or MCFAs for short. The theory is that these fats are built differently than other fats, which makes them way easier for the body to absorb and put to use really quickly.
Now, when it comes to skin, the benefit is actually pretty straightforward and, honestly, widely accepted. When you put coconut oil on your pet's skin, it works as a fantastic moisturizer. It literally creates this protective barrier that locks in moisture, and that can be a huge help for pets dealing with dry, itchy, flaky skin, or even those crusty paw pads.
But what about inside the body? This is where a really interesting study from 2023 comes in. Scientists took a group of dogs that had chronic gut problems, and they added virgin coconut oil to their special diet. And the results? They were pretty clear. They saw real improvements in their clinical signs, including things like firmer stool.
And get this, if you're wondering if the oil was actually being absorbed and doing something, the proof is right here. The study measured a specific fatty acid from the coconut oil in the dog's stool, and its presence shot up by over 600%. That's not just a coincidence, that is a massive, measurable impact. All right, so we've got some pretty promising evidence for skin and gut health, but what about that whole laundry list of other claims we saw online? This is where we need to start separating what might be fact from what's probably just a fad.
This chart from veterinarian Dr. Kathy Boehm is just fantastic for breaking this down. So, in that first column, you've got the claims that might have some scientific basis. Things like dry skin, maybe helping with inflammatory bowel disease, or even cognitive issues. But then, look at that second column, the big claims like preventing cancer, helping with dental disease, or causing weight loss. Well, according to the vets, the credible evidence for those things just isn't there yet.
And one of the biggest claims you'll hear is about heart health. But you know what? The science here is really murky, especially when we're talking about our pets. We know that fats from things like fish oil have well-proven benefits for the heart, but the research on coconut oil for dogs and cats, it's just incredibly limited. The jury is absolutely still out on that one. Okay, and this brings us to a really crucial part of this whole conversation. Just because something is natural, that does not mean it is risk-free, and we absolutely have to talk about the potential downsides. So, the single most important message in this whole section is right here. Use caution. You should never, ever just start adding a high-fat supplement like coconut oil to your pet's diet without talking to your veterinarian first. And here's why vets are so concerned. First, coconut oil is basically pure fat. It's packed with calories and can easily lead to weight gain. For some pets, it can actually cause diarrhea instead of helping it. And this is the big one. For pets that are prone to pancreatitis, which is a really painful condition, or pets that already have high levels of fat in their blood, it can be downright dangerous. So, let's make this super practical. Who might be a good candidate versus a bad one? Well, think of it like this. A pet with a simple case of dry, itchy skin where you plan to use the oil on the outside, that's a potentially good candidate. But a pet that's overweight, has a history of pancreatitis, or has issues processing fats, that's a bad candidate. For them, the risks just plain outweigh any potential benefits. Okay, so after all that, after weighing the evidence and understanding the risks, if you and your vet decide it might be worth a try for your pet, how do you actually do it safely? Let's walk through a quick and practical guide.
It really comes down to 4 key steps. Number 1, and this is the most important one, it is non-negotiable, talk to your vet first. Second, start small. I'm talking a tiny amount, like a quarter of a teaspoon for a small dog, just to see how they handle it. Third, always choose virgin coconut oil since it's less processed. And finally, number 4, watch your pet like a hawk for any bad reaction.
Now, when it comes to how much to give, there is a golden rule. No more than 10% of your pet's total daily calories should come from added fats, and that includes coconut oil. So to put that in perspective, for a dog that needs 500 calories a day, that's just 50 calories from fat. And you know what that is? That's about 1 single teaspoon of coconut oil. It is probably a lot less than you'd think.
Seriously, go ahead and screenshot this rule. It is the key to doing this safely. It's the perfect, science-based number to bring up in your conversation with your vet. And make sure you don't overdo it and accidentally cause a whole new set of problems. So, let's circle all the way back to that first question we asked. Is coconut oil a miracle cure? The evidence pretty clearly says no, it's not. But is it a totally useless wellness fad? Not quite. The best way to think of it is as a very specific tool for very specific situations that might help some pets, and it must always be used with knowledge, caution, and expert guidance. The real miracle cure at the end of the day is a well-informed owner working side by side with